going on, guys? Matthew B. Haynes here, aka the Clock Master, here with my wife
Shannon, aka Cosmic Fakes.
And we're here for
The Mandalorian.
Oh, they were gonna do
Oh, you didn't tell me.
No, I just thought you were gonna do it on your own. I guess we were doing it this whole time, man.
We weren't doing it the whole time.
No, didn't you do it? No, see, you were doing it like he did it earlier, before
earlier
the video.
today, yeah.
Didn't you do it last week too?
No, I said the Daddy Lorian.
Oh yeah, you did say that, Daddy. That's true. That's true.
I'm watching The Mandalorian, season 3, episode 2.
Episode 2, which should have been last week. They should have put this last week. Oh.
When you think of last, you go this way or this way?
I go this way sometimes.
It's this way.
What?
If you're looking at a number, right? If you're looking at a number line, if you're looking at 3, 2 is here. 1 is here. 4 is here.
But not if you're in Japan, because if you're in Japan, it's going to pass, it's going to be here in terms of a book, and then the future is going to be here because you read from right to left.
But we're not in Japan.
Yeah. Let's just, guys, want to get into the episode. If you've been dilly-dallying too much, let's just get right into it. The full reaction is on Patreon if you guys want to see that, and to the previous episodes, and literally all of The Last of Us. If you're a Pedro fan and want to see more of our reactions to Pedro, it's on our Patreon. Go check it out. The full reactions to all of those. So a whole bunch of shenanigans on Patreon too as well.
Including in this video.
So.
That you're not seeing.
Exactly, excuse me. So anyways, let us get right into it. We'll talk about it later as you normally do. Let's get into it. Now, pod racing, new okay, they doing some racing or something. Pod racing? Boba? Ah.
Well, I don't appreciate the tone of voice, but I'll fix it. Let's say 2 months.
What the no?
Right, settle your snout, I'll put a rush on it. But you gotta give me half up front for parts. You know, I should
She's a businesswoman.
Now I gotta work boom to Eve.
What the?
Yeah, me? You know, I do have a life. Big holiday. I have big plans. Tell the Jawas the Rodian left.
Bruh.
Right, let's get this thing back together again. Quickly, before he sees you. Go, 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 go. Right, here you go. Seriously, for 5 minutes of work?
It's a conspiracy.
You're lucky I'm a softie.
Take it apart and put it right back together.
Right.
What do? You create the problem and create the solution.
Exactly. Business.
Business.
You hear that? She's purring like a nuzzle shrew.
No complaints. Still faster than I know what to do with.
Well, I'll tune her up just the same. So, where's my guy? There he is!
Come to see your grandma.
Yep.
Flipping out.
Who taught you how to leap like a lerman, huh?
Need a droid part.
Boring. Hey, get the Jawas back in here before they hit the cantina. Memory circuit. Sorry, pal. No
I've always been fascinated with the Jawa
Find the part.
Right.
face.
I need my droid fixed now.
Think you should buy this beauty here?
No.
I can't use an astromech ahead of me and test the atmosphere. Make sure it's safe to breathe.
Okay, well... Right back here, scary.
I love that they're actually touching that and on the atmosphere being safe to breathe.
Right.
Oh God, of course.
I thought you said it was built for adventure.
Picking herself, man.
May the force be with you!
Tell you, Grogu sometimes just reminds me of a cat.
Yeah.
The Minds of Mandalore. Is that what we doing now? All right. You like Snoop, Matthew McConaughey. I'm all right. Snoop like, all right.
I grew up there. On that moon. Concordia.
It's like taking your kid back to your hometown.
Right.
Valhalla, where we visited Bo-Katan. That way, you'll never be lost.
I like how he's like teaching him
Yeah.
all the little things, like this is how
kid now.
right. Like this is how to be a Mandalorian.
Right.
This is what we do. This is how we operate. This is how we think.
This is what you're going to have to do.
Right. Oof. Ooh. That's not good.
No.
That's not good.
No.
Holy crap. Wow. We on Mandalore, boys. Wow, what a shot.
Right.
I just love aviation.
Disrupted the
That's crazy.
Everything is like crystallized from the
Yeah.
fusion rays, they said.
It's always the astromechs that have the most personality.
Right. I was like, bro, look, I'm retired, bro. I was good in my freaking pit, bro.
Right.
Why you gotta bring me out here? And that droid, but I don't think that droid making it back, bro.
Here, look. You can watch him on the scope.
I thought the masks have, I thought the Mandalorian masks had ways to filter oxygen.
I'll pressurize my helmet. Seal yourself in your
Yeah,
pod.
that's what I'm trying. That's how I figured. Figured you should have been able to do that.
I guess he was more testing it for Grogu
Yeah,
and not to use it if he didn't have to.
yeah. Because I mean, you can only.
Make sure you put the child locks on.
All right. All right.
What's gonna be in here?
The thing that we saw in the trailer, it looked like a big. Oh damn. There we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, what are those?
Right.
Oh,
Some caveman yeti.
there we go. Come on, man. Remember your training. He still needs training with that saber, man.
It's not quite fluid with it just yet.
I'm gonna say curb stomping him. Come on.
Let's get you back to the ship.
I think some people complain about droids in Star Wars. I'm like, bro, droids are like, it's like having a cell phone.
Right.
And it's like you have to have, like, most people have droids for everyday convenience. Even like some poorer people might have some form of a smaller droid.
Yeah.
Obviously not people in the street, but like some, like, you know, homes. Most homes have some type of droid.
Yeah. Even so, there is still some people like living on the street that have phones. This little pod, so cute.
Right. Looks so cozy too.
It does. I want to be in that pod.
All right. The Grogu can only walk like.
Yeah,
This.
he'll be waiting quite a while.
All right.
Take 2-step and he 5-step behind.
I mean, he can hop now.
That's true.
That's the Civic Center. This is where
A
Bo-Katan
Honda
said to
Civic
go.
Center. There's always a Honda Civic Center. That was satisfying.
Right. How do you bring proof that you bathed? I was like, how do you even bring proof?
Yeah. No, just I don't know. Have your droid take a selfie? Be like,
Living waters, baby. We finally made it. Posted on Star Talk.
not Star Talk.
And not the Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson Star Talk show. But
Star TOK.
yes. Well, that's proof.
Right. How do you explain this?
Right. Someone else's helmet.
Oh.
Holy crap. Oh, shoot. What the heck? Oh, what? Oh.
That'll surely do it.
Oh, no. That's fun. It's like a Mandalorian Venus flytrap. It might take him exactly where he needs to go, though.
That's true.
All the Beskar. It's probably, I don't know, maybe you just senses that he has on Beskar and just bring him to all the other piles of Beskar. There you go, Grogu. Grogu doing things. Oh. There's someone in that?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Oh. A smaller droid?
And inside that one, a smaller
An even
droid.
smaller droid.
You look like a Gollum was in Star Wars.
Right. Oh, I just thought he got his Darksaber. The man had like handled, bro. Oh, there it is.
He can't move though.
He's got his freaking Darksaber just ripped out by a droid. Oh lord.
Well, he can't move. Like it's like restricting him.
Yeah, I can't really see how he's being held up, but
Yeah.
obviously he would have tried to get out if he could.
Yeah.
Time to master a saber.
Right. It's your time to
It's your
shine.
time to shine, buddy. Careful now. Bro, me when I freaking move anywhere. It's just so crazy that the Force tires him out so much. Oh, Fallen Order 2's coming out soon. Fallen Order 2's coming out soon.
Yes, it is. Oh.
Well, that'll do.
Gotta get in the getaway car.
Right. I just like that Grogu knows how to use his pod.
Yeah.
They're starting to show him become more, start to become more like,
Is that a dragon?
looks like a dragon thing. I don't know.
Y'all ain't getting me today. Come on, Grogu.
Yep.
Handle it. No.
Yes, you know how this
You're a
ends.
whole Force user, my guy.
Right. Nice. My boy Grogu. Good thing you got this
Alligator
astromech.
dragon.
All right.
Daenerys, come get your kid.
I'm actually very happy to see Grogu just kind of move on his own and just kind of
Right.
like, this is really
And
cool.
especially Mando trusting him to do
To
that.
do it, yeah.
An unscheduled visitor.
Scheduled.
It's the right way to say it.
It is not.
Unscheduled, yes.
There's a C.
Unscheduled.
There's a C.
So do you call it Skindler's List or Schindler's List? What do you call it? Rid of him once and for all. No,
What do you
yo?
mean?
Why are you trying to kill him? What, Bo, what's going on? This is not the way. This is not the way, Bo.
I didn't make myself clear the last time. I want to be left alone.
You cannot be mad at the baby.
What happened to him? Download the astromech, find out where they were.
Yeah, you can't be mad at the baby.
Look at that ship. Oh, yeah. Come on, hurry up. They went straight to Mandalore. You already know the vibes. Had to go and get some backup.
Mm-hmm. The best backup you ever gonna get.
All right. Look at that. Look at that grin. You know you want to be back home.
Alright. It's gonna feel like a fever dream.
All right. Wow. Bo-Katan back on Mandalore.
Crazy.
It's crazy what happened to her. Ooh. Yep. Yep. Flashbacks? No.
Another video.
I know. Would have been nice to see Satine.
Aww.
Yeah. I'm proud of Grogu.
Right.
Grogu did the thing, man. Grogu said, "Whoop, flip. We whoop, flip.
Gotta save daddy.
Fork
Go
whip.
get mommy.
All right, go get mama." No, that's Auntie Bo. I mean, it's mama for different reasons. I know.
That's what I'm saying.
What we doing, Droid? Okay. The Droid trying to be sus. She's gonna see the Darksaber down there too, actually. I wonder if she's gonna try to get it back.
I wonder.
Basically, you can really see how much the Empire destroyed.
Right.
And it's crazy that he grew up that Din grew up on that moon because that's where Death Watch was based.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A whole bunch of them suckers.
Come on, Bo.
Come on, Bo. Come on, man. Yes! That's how you do that? That's how you do that?
It's so nice seeing her in action. Like,
I know. to mess you up. Ah, love that good old trusty shield. That's how you do that.
You think your dad was the only Mandalorian?
Come on.
Come on now.
If they survived, I wonder what else might have to.
Right.
Right. Trust me, civilizations always find a way to keep themselves. This droid has been functioning somehow.
Yeah. What exactly it's doing is the real question.
All right, I have no idea.
Oh.
What the heck? Hey, yo, my man's, bro. What's good? Like, what are you actually?
Right.
What are you doing, bro? Like, what's going on? You trying to cook him? You trying to melt the Beskar? Trying to extract the Beskar? No, it's blood.
What are we doing here?
What's good? All right, what's good? Who is this? Oof, that thing was built for Beskar.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Bo-Katan and the Darksaber, let's go. Come on now, let's see it. Yeah, there.
She wields it so well.
Oh, she wields it so well, dude. Din, I'm sorry, bro. You gotta reach.
You're not with it yet, my guy.
No, it ain't over.
It's Bo-Katan.
What Lenny Kravitz say?
Get you out of here, right?
Bro, what? Bro, what?
What I say?
It's a brain? Oh yeah, no, it's smaller droid. Oof. Woo! Bro, she moves! She moves! She moves! Bo moves, baby! That's how you do it! Yeah, there. She moves, bro. She moves. Nah, give him some smelling salts. He gonna be good.
It'll be fine.
Let's go ahead. What the heck?
Your life.
Mm-hmm.
To the living waters.
Yes. You'd never find them on your own. Not in all this time.
Thank you.
You'll be there for a bit.
Don't thank me until you see them.
It's fair.
What pains me is seeing our own kind fight one another time and time again.
Yeah.
Killing them for
Yeah.
the reasons too confusing to explain. It made us weak.
All right, Bo, you back. All right, go in, then. I got you.
You
got me? All right.
I didn't embarrass him in front of everyone.
Your father sounds like an interesting man. I would have liked to have known him.
He was a great man. What are you looking at?
Classic, Bo. Didn't lose her attitude.
No, never.
Here you go. It is from these legends that the skull signet was adopted and became the symbol of our planet.
Seems so anticlimactic.
Right.
You finally get there, and it's just,
Are you all right?
you know, is it worth it? Mm-hmm. Here it is, AA again. How do we? But what I want to know is, how do you get proof? Do you take a water sample? And how do you even know that that water is from the mines? Is there some
Right.
type of
Just take some
thing in it?
water.
Right. I'm just saying, is there like some type of like minerals in it that you can test and be like, oh, this is from Mandalore?
I swear
You
did?
on my name. And the names of the ancestors. That I shall walk the way of the Mandalore. And the words of the creed shall be forever forged in my heart.
What on earth? Bo saving him again.
Right.
Well, that's deep waters.
Right.
Holy crap.
Jeez. Thought it was gonna be a little wave pool.
No, he definitely took a bath in the river water. So
I guess bringing home the head or whatever got him.
Nope. Man, slumped again. Bro, you sure this is the way?
Right.
Like,
Are we sure?
What happened? Oh. Oh, wow. Damn. That's the symbol for the Mandalorians.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
It's
Man.
getting real good, man.
Yeah.
You gotta do this.
Bro, I'm trying to like see what's good here. Hold on, who directed this? I didn't. Well, she's a cinematographer. No wonder it looks. I mean, it looks good. I mean, come on now. They know what they know how they're supposed to look. Of course, the episode looked great. Everything about the episode looked great.
Yeah.
Like even the way how it filmed, you would never think that it. I don't even know if they. Well, they most likely used the volume for this. I would think, but I don't know if they. I don't know if they did or didn't. I can't tell if they used the volume to film this.
Yeah, they use it for a lot of it, so I don't know.
I mean, the volume came. So a lot of filmmakers started using the volume technology as a result of COVID, and a way to, and like, you know what, this is a way to save money. Like even in Red Notice, which the only example I could think of, they shot that movie during the height of COVID, without even leaving Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they were all over the world.
Yeah, and it looked great.
And it looked great, to be honest. For what it was, it looked pretty good. Like, and they didn't leave Atlanta once. Like, they used volume technology or volume-like technology. And obviously they used it in the Batman, too.
Yeah.
My man Greg Fraser used it in, I mean, he worked with it in the first episode of The Mandalorian. The first episode of Mandalorian was the first Greg Fraser. So he was already used to filming in that type of environment. So when you get to the Batman, especially when they're looking over Gotham City on top of the construction site, remember that shot right there? Yeah, that's exactly where they used that LED screen. Not necessarily the volume, but they said that they were using the LED screen instead of a green screen to kind of film that. Yeah, to kind of make that immersion look better.
It's crazy how well it makes things look.
Yeah, it does, especially if you do it right, though.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't even tell. I thought that was maybe a shot of New York, or maybe just like, you know, a green screen, but no, it wasn't. And what was good about using that technology, especially the way how Greg Fraser used it in the Batman, specifically in that one scene, was because the LED, and even with the volume itself, the LEDs give off a natural reflection of the light of the scenery that you're in. So it helps with the lighting of the situation. You don't have to worry about a whole bunch of key lights in a green screen. Yeah. And trying to make sure, because you could tell if the key lights are wrong, you got like one here, one here, one here. That's the normal setup is normally a 3-point setup. Usually for that, bigger sets have more lights set up, and then the light shining onto the green screen to eradicate the shadows and whatnot. The basic setup of green screen, right? Obviously, it's more technical depending on how big the set is or whatever. But like the green and blue screens are still fine, and they still have their purposes. But like when you bring in that LED screen that's shining off the light of that scene that you're in, it just makes it look 10 times better. And you don't have to worry so much about lighting. It's like using natural lighting. It's like going outside and filming. It's like what was done in Eternals, right? Like that's how they pretty much filmed Eternals. Like they used all natural lighting in that situation there. So everything like was used, was just all the sun. They hardly use any crazy lighting for that movie. So that's why it looked the way it did. And I still think it's the most beautiful Marvel movie. Like out of all the MCU, it's the best looking one, in my opinion, just because all of the natural lighting and everything. Yeah. So just to bring that back to this episode, I don't know how they filmed it. I would assume they used some volume technology for this, obviously with props and sets, but I mean, she did a great. Rachel Morrison, if she is the same cinematographer that we saw there, she did a really good job with this episode. The way how it looked, the depth and the feel, like it felt so grand and so empty at the same time. Yeah. And that was the intention and the purpose, and that's what I liked about the I was playing with my that's what I liked about the episode from a technical standpoint, was those things, like just being able to feel the immersion, but also feel the emptiness. Yeah, there's a lot of depth to the wide shots and like the all the drawingness and the whole thing. And even from like an atmospheric standpoint with the plot too and the story, you have you have a place that's so grand and so well respected and so revered, like to the point that you get there and it feels like everything but nothing at the same time.
Exactly.
So the technical aspect of how it was filmed really translated over into the story aspect of the episode, because it carries on to the whole thing. Like, this place was once a beautiful society. It's no longer a beautiful society anymore. This place is empty. And even Bo-Katan even saying, like, I can't believe, like, this place was once beautiful. My family once ruled here. And you can see her just reminiscing and just looking at this place and all the sadness and depression and just, you can see it. And you can also feel how powerful the place once was. It's an echo of its former self.
Right.
It's a shadow of its former self. And the Empire really destroyed the absolute mess out of it. And it's just really insane, because the most we've seen of Mandalore, obviously, was in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And a little bits of flashbacks here and there in Rebels, if I recall correctly. It might have been maybe a flashback or a scenery or something. I don't know. Can't really remember. But we mostly saw it in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So, been to Mandalore, we've seen its ruler, we saw its civil war, we saw everything with Death Watch, we even saw when Maul once ruled Mandalore for a short period of time. But no, okay, my mind was going somewhere else. I'm like, no. Yeah, but anyways, we saw when Maul once ruled for a short period of time. Very, very short time, and just being another pawn for Palpatine. And that's where Savage died. Like, that's everything crazy happened. A lot of crazy stuff happened. I mean, like I said, we've seen Mandalore and all of its beauty and glory and the civilization it once was, and all the people just vibing and chilling.
It's really crazy seeing it like this.
Right. And I never thought we would ever get a chance to see Mandalore in live action, because all we heard was that Mandalore was destroyed during the Purge.
Right.
And so now we're seeing that the ecosystem is still around. There's still other living things there. There's still life on that planet. And even Bo mentioned, like, I wonder what else made it.
Right.
So it's like you're seeing now that there's a potential chance that maybe some people might have made it out. Who knows? Right. Maybe there's a small group of people that somehow maybe made it out and they're just living in some cave or some small little area or something. Maybe there's maybe there's still more Beskar that they couldn't find. Maybe there's still ores. Maybe there's still this. So it raised a lot of questions, but opens up a lot more opportunities.
Definitely.
And I don't know where Mandalore was in the timeline, in terms of like where it is in the post Skywalker saga like area. I don't know the status of Mandalore in that situation now. I don't know if they were ever able to recover or rebuild or save anything from that planet. I don't know if the First Order destroyed it in their new, because they destroyed mad planets.
Right.
In certain systems. So I don't know if they ended up wiping Mandalore completely off the map. I can't remember. Someone, if you want, you can answer that question down below for me.
I don't remember them bringing up Mandalore. Yeah,
but I don't know if it was ever mentioned canonically in comic books or books.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, because some of the stuff, canonically, unless Lucasfilm comes out and says, you know what, these books are no longer canon to the Star Wars storyline, like what they did with the Legacy stuff, and like labeled it Legacy stuff. Pretty much every book and every story that came out after that, from that Disney and the current Lucasfilm approved, is canon to the Star Wars timeline and the Star Wars story. So I don't know if there's any books or comic books that mentioned Mandalore at all, or maybe mentioned if it survived or if it got destroyed or if it was abandoned still, if it's even still around.
Right.
I have no idea where it stands now. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because I'm trying to think about what kind of opportunities introducing Mandalore to us will bring. How, will we see more of Mandalore in the future? Will the Mandalorians try to reclaim Mandalore and rebuild? Will they try to, like the Empire is no more? Would they try to see this as an opportunity to be like, you know what? let's rebuild this civilization. Let's get a new leader. Let's start over.
Right.
I don't know. So, and even if they did start over, obviously, I don't see, because there's no mention of any Mandalorians in the Skywalker saga. Like, well, sorry, not the Skywalker saga. Sorry, I keep saying the Skywalker saga. Yes, of course, obviously, but I mean, like, there's no mention of them in the post, like in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. I know what you meant.
So I don't know if, and keep in mind, like, Palpatine is still around at this point. He's still around. He just, it's so sad that they did this crap. Because technically around now, Palpatine is just being a sleeper agent right now.
Yeah. He is.
He's just off in the distant edge of the galaxy.
Right, just over here.
Just plotting again, creating Snoke and working on his clones.
Right.
And plotting away. So I don't see why they would, if the First Order came up, why they would even allow a new Mandalore to come to power again. I don't know. So that's why I'm kind of like, I'm just kind of trying to think where they will go with this. Because it would be cool to think if they rebuilt Mandalore somehow and the civilization came up again and a new generation of Mandalorians came to be. But even if that were the case, the First Order would destroy them again, just the same. Straight up wipe out the planet, because they're like, look, we can't have y'all. It's either you going to work for us, like what happened in Rebels, where Gar Saxons and all these people started working for the Empire. It's either you going to work for us, or we going to get rid of you.
Basically,
we can't have such a powerful group of people. Like that's akin to the Jedi Order, because that was like one of their equals, bro. Like, if you think about people like the Jedi, the Sith, and the Mandalorians were all on equal playing field in terms of like, because they straight up were at war, even though the Jedis won the war against the Mandalorians. The Jedis won. Easy. But they gave them trouble for a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
They gave them a hard time.
Yeah.
Like, like, there's plenty of times too that, if I'm not mistaken, like, we've even seen, it's just like it's such a small scene too. But every time I rewatch The Jedi, which is like one of my favorite, it was probably my favorite episode of The Mandalorian, period, just because of Ahsoka and that whole episode and just Akira Kurosawa stuff, and I love his movies and everything, just the whole vibe and westerns, and I love The Jedi as an episode. I've been rambling for such a bit right now. But this episode really got me talking, but like the Jedi as an episode, what I love about it was in that brief interaction between Din and Ahsoka, I don't know if you can recall, but their interaction when they fought was like, I got you. No, I got you. No, I got you. No, I got you. So it was like, you can see the Mandalorian prowess against a Jedi, and then you can see the Jedi's advantage over the Mandalorians.
Yeah, definitely.
And you could start to see how, you know what?
It's very
We're equal. We can tussle a little bit.
Yeah.
One of us is going to win, obviously, depending on whose skill gap is higher.
Right.
But like, we're gonna give each other trouble.
Yeah.
And obviously the Beskar is designed to repel lightsabers. So it's like, you look at that situation, even at the end of their when Din spoke to Ahsoka and was like, you know what, when they decide to go and take over that village, a Mandalorian and a Jedi, they'll never see it coming. That is a part. He was like, yeah, we're a powerful duo.
Right.
We're gonna wreck everything. So I don't see, I'm saying all to say, like, I don't see the First Order allowing a civilization that was able to tussle with Jedis
to survive.
Yeah. I don't see that. Because the Mandalorians are nothing to mess with, bro. Like, nobody messed with them like that. Until the point where the Empire got to where there was power in numbers, and now we have Sith, we have Vader. Eventually, you know, like, things that go crazy. And then, like, I'll never forget. I think it was, I can't remember what interaction this was exactly. I can't remember if it was Rebels. Yes, it was Rebels. It was Rebels, yes. When Caleb was training Sabine how to use Darksaber. And that was another good example, too. What's his name, man? The dude, the Mandalorian that used to work with them. I forgot his name. forgot his name, man. The dude that they were like trying to capture at one point and ended up working with them for a little bit. Fen Rao.
Fen Rao, there it is.
Fen Rao.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Fen Rao and Sabine, like when they were having little arguments, Sabine couldn't get the training. Like, Caleb was like, "Look, I'm gonna remind you that the Jedi's won the war." I'm sorry, but that's what happened. So then Fen Rao and Sabine was like, "Look, we got little tricks here that we can like thing." So even before he said that, we had little tricks. So that's when she was like refusing to like learn properly and was like going against Ezra, and Ezra was like whooping her with Saber, of course. So Fen Rao was like, "Nah, man, we ain't taking this disrespect, bro. We Mandalorians, you can't stand here."
Right.
I was like, "Look, use this instead." And like you can see a little tricks, and like it worked on him. And then I was like, and you can see that. And then that's when Caleb was like, "Look, I'm a little history lesson. The Jedi's won the war."
Yeah.
So, but even in that interaction, you can see them, the equalness that they had at the time.
Right.
Like, we can fight for a bit. If it's a good Jedi, chances are we will get you.
Yeah.
2-1 on an untrained Jedi, or a Jedi that ain't really about it. Maybe Kit Fisto. I don't know. Like, well, no, let me not sleep on Fisto, bro.
Come on.
No, let me not sleep on Fisto. Let me not sleep on Fisto.
Put my man in the
My bad. Let me not sleep on Fisto, bro. Fisto really about it, and depending on what, like, let me not sleep on Fisto, okay? My bad.
Come on, man.
I'm talking bad on his name.
Unnamed Jedi.
All right. I don't know, man.
Unnamed Jedi number 2.
I don't know. Maybe Ayla Secura, man. I don't know. Because she was pretty good too, but I don't know. Just like, I feel like Bo-Katan could beat Ayla Secura. I'm sorry. I feel like, given the right situation, she might whoop her, bro.
Someone gonna be fighting you in the comments now,
Okay, I'm maybe choosing bad examples. I'm just trying to say, the point is, you get a Jedi that doesn't necessarily know what they're doing, and maybe 2 Mandalorians is over. But Obi-Wan versus 2 Mandalorians, not happening.
Yeah.
two different scales of the spectrum, bro. All right, Mace Windu, two Mandalorians, not happening. Not happening, bro. Like, Mace was a tactician, bro. Guy was clean, he was precise, he was calculated. Not happening. And he was nasty too, bro. Like, if he was gonna kill you, it was gonna be the most cleanest but most gruesome thing at the same time. Like, look at how he took out Django, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine, took him out in the most gruesome way ever, but it was clean.
And right in front of his kid.
Right in front of his kid too, and he looked up at them too. And like, apparently that scene, I don't know if I showed you or told you, that scene was worse.
Yeah.
Like, he cut off his arms first.
Yeah, I think he showed.
Yeah, he straight up cut off his arms first, and like his legs, and then what the freak? It was bad. Mace was not a joke,
man,
bro.
it was just a torso.
Right, man, it was just a torso. Like, it was bad, bro. It was bad. But anyways, great episode. I think you end this up a great episode. It opens up a lot of questions, a lot of discussions to be made. Yeah. The Mythosaur. So we saw the Mythosaur, which means that even brings up so much questions now.
Yeah, and the fact that it didn't attack Bo.
It didn't attack Bo, but it said it said it tamed the beast. It didn't say that they killed the beast.
No, it did tame.
It said tamed the beast. So it didn't kill Bo. Interesting. This is going to be very interesting. What if? Ooh. Theory now. What if Bo being able to straight up roll out on a Mythosaur is what negates the legitimacy of the Darksaber?
Yeah.
And she gets her claim back as a true rightful leader of the Mandalorians. What if, because he said the first was able to tame the Mythosaur and was a Mythosaur lair and whatever, and that was the first Mandalore. What if she's able to tame the beast?
Yeah.
And kind of like an Avatar thing where like you kind of sync up, like we on the same page.
Yeah.
What if she tames it, straight up rolls up on a Mythosaur, and then it's like, I got you, bro. I got you, bro. It's going on the gram. I got you. Like, this is straight up recording. I got you, Bo's in the cloud now. I got you.
That's kind of along the lines of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, or just the symbolism of it, if not necessarily that, but the symbolism that she is the rightful ruler of Mandalore.
Right. I'm thinking that, like, because look, what would trump a darksaber? Because the darksaber became so coveted after the first Mandalorian that was a Jedi, and it became a symbol of leadership. What trumps that?
Besides,
rolling up on a mythosaur.
Yeah.
The thing's still alive.
Yeah.
And I think that also answers the question when she said, "Man, this episode is so deep. There's so many things."
It really is.
Man, I gotta rewatch
There's
this.
a lot of stuff in this.
Right. But it's just the fact that she says, like, okay, I wonder what else is still, could be around.
Right.
A straight up mythosaur that was that no one has ever seen in so long.
Right. And you see it, and it almost like acknowledges her.
Right. Doesn't go after her.
It just like looks at her.
Right.
So.
And the fact that it pulled Din down, it probably just shows that he's not meant to rule.
Right.
He's not meant to lead.
Right. But
it left Bo alone.
Yeah.
So it could be a thing where she's descended from the first Mandalore, and maybe it just recognizes the blood. Or maybe just like a thing where he's like, no, that's the leader right here. So
it's like a Bendu kind of thing.
Like Bendu. I don't know about Bendu, because Bendu, like, okay, Bendu was a representation of
Bendu,
karma.
I say Bendu in the sense that it only kind of reveals itself to certain people.
But it revealed itself to Din.
Din didn't see nothing coming.
I mean, he didn't see it, but it pretty much alert him of his presence. You know what I mean? I would say maybe like if we want to look for a comparison from Rebels, I would say maybe, I keep forgetting those wolves that Ezra connected to, the ones that could teleport.
Gosh. Oh my gosh!
It's been a while.
The Loth Wolf.
Was it a Loth Wolf? It might be just a Loth. It might straight up be a Loth Wolf.
Is it a Loth Wolf?
I think it's a Loth Wolf.
That sounds right.
It was Ezra, yeah, Loth Wolf.
Yeah.
The Doom, yeah, Doom.
Yeah.
Doom the Loth Wolf.
Doom.
Yeah, Doom. So if anything, maybe it might be,
I guess,
something like that where,
I guess,
it only connected with certain people.
Yeah. You
have teleporting wolves. Like, you just.
I want to rewatch Rebels.
I'm always rewatching stuff. Rewatch Rebels. Shoot, throw it on the background. It's there.
If you guys haven't watched Rebels yet, please watch it, because it's a very great show. Or if you don't want to watch, just watch my reactions to it.
You can do that too.
They're way back, but they're there.
They're there.
They're all playlists and stuff.
To watch our experience for the first time. But yeah, I think we'll wrap up this video here.
Yeah, for a bit.
I really like this episode though. Yeah, I would have liked if they premiered it last week, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Very deep episode. Lots of doors opening here. Lots of questions I feel are that you can ask from this.
Definitely.
And they can really do a lot with this. So we'll see what happens in the next episode. But it was really good, and especially seeing like Bo fight with that darksaber, man. That was so great.
Man, I will die on this hill that Bo is one of my top 5 Mandalorians.
You know 4 others?
I mean, there is more.
I mean, who else would? I mean, well, there's still. I mean, true. There's Sabine.
Look behind you. There is Gar.
I mean, I'm talking about like people that you like or know.
I'm just saying. You asked if I know 5 Mandalorians.
Oh, I mean, like 4 other ones that you like.
Oh, Bo, Sabine.
There's Din.
There's Din.
Who are the other 2 that you like?
Don't worry about it. there's Fen Rao. There's Sabine's mom.
You like those 2?
There's people. We're getting more Mandalorians here, are we not?
I mean, some people like Pre Vizsla. I don't, but some people do.
It's an interesting character. I can acknowledge.
Let's not forget that Pre Vizsla. Well, technically, if we're talking about Mandalorians people, and not necessarily the fighters, there is Satine.
Yeah, exactly. She is
Mandalorian. I'm helping you out here. I mean, let's not forget, guys, that Jon Favreau voiced Pre Vizsla.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that fact.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that fact. So every time you go back and watch Previous to Speak, it's Jon Favreau. But anyways, that's it.
Yeah.
We'll wrap the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed our reaction to this episode. It was a great episode. And yeah, can't wait for next week's episode of Mandalorian, man. It's been great. And yeah, we'll see y'all